The alien world of Xylar was quiet. Its cities floated among violet clouds, towers shining with pale light. Ships moved lazily in the sky lanes, and the air hummed with peaceful energy. The citizens had never seen war in their lifetime. They had never feared the stars. Then suddenly the silence shattered. No alarm had sounded. No signal had warned them. One moment the sky was calm. The next, a massive object appeared above the horizon. It was a warship, and it was unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Its hull was dark, sleek, and enormous, glowing faintly with strange energy. Lights blinked along its surface, but no pattern the aliens could recognize. The people stared in disbelief. "Is this a weapon?" one whispered. "Impossible," said another. No species could build something this size. Not without warning. Inside the alien capital, alarms screamed. The High Council chambers filled with tension. Leaders rushed to observation windows, their multiple eyes widening as they saw the ship hovering in the upper atmosphere. "This is not a patrol vessel," said Commander Relak, his voice sharp and trembling. "It's too large, too advanced." And it appeared out of nowhere. The council erupted into chaos. Some called for immediate attack, some for diplomacy. Nobody agreed. Nobody knew what to do. From above, the warship didn't move aggressively. It hovered, silent, almost observing. Then a strange signal began to pulse from the ship. The aliens tried to scan it. Their most advanced sensors failed. Their instruments showed nothing, as if the ship itself was invisible to their technology. Panic spread. The citizens of Xylar gathered in the streets. Floating vehicles stopped mid-air, unable to process the shock of what they were seeing. News spread quickly. A Terran warship so enormous, so advanced, that it should not exist, had entered their space. In one of the city's smaller observation posts, a young alien scientist named Kale watched with awe and fear. His fingers shook as he typed on a console that had never failed him before. "The energy signature, it's unprecedented," he whispered. "We've never seen anything like this." The council demanded answers, but Kyle had none to give. He only knew one thing: the warship was real, and it was powerful. Too powerful. Then, without warning, the ship emitted a low hum. The sound was deep and strange, resonating through the atmosphere. Citizens felt it in their bones. It was not threatening, but it was commanding. The hum seemed to call to something deep inside, something primal. Fear, curiosity, awe, all at once. Commander Relak clenched his fists. "We need to respond, now. I don't care if it's diplomacy or attack, we must act." A fleet of alien ships scrambled into position. They were smaller, faster, and armed with the best weapons Xylar could produce. Yet even as they moved, a sense of dread filled the pilots' hearts. They had never faced an enemy like this. The warship did not move like a normal vessel. It seemed alive, almost aware of them. In the streets below, citizens watched as the small alien fleet approached the Terran ship. Children clung to their parents. Merchants abandoned their stalls. Even the guards at the city gates stopped, uncertain what to do. Then, as if sensing the alien fleet's approach, the Terran warship shifted. Slowly, deliberately, it rotated. Its massive guns extended, not to attack, but as if to test the aliens. The energy fields around it glowed brighter. The hum became louder. The air trembled. Inside the warship, humans moved calmly. They were small compared to their ship, yet their presence exuded confidence. They spoke to each other quietly, making adjustments and monitoring alien signals. Not a single human looked afraid. Back on Xylar, the council watched in stunned silence. They are not panicking," muttered one member. "Not even a little." A young officer, trembling, reported, "Commander, the warship, it is reading our fleet movements. It knows our formation before we change it." Relak's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. No ship should have that capability. What are they?" The Terran warship emitted a sudden flash of light. Aliens in the observation chambers shielded their eyes. When the light faded, one of their own ships was disintegrated, vanished entirely. Not a single piece remained. The others froze in shock. "The Terrans—" "They are beyond our understanding," whispered Kale. He felt a chill. For the first time, he feared for the survival of his entire species, yet even in the face of such power, the warship did not advance further. It hovered silently, almost as if testing the aliens, almost as if asking a question they could not answer. Rilak clenched his jaw. "We cannot attack blindly," he said. "We also cannot ignore them. We need a plan." Suddenly, a signal came from the warship. It was strange, not words, but patterns, images flashing across alien screens. The aliens interpreted it as a message. The visuals showed humans, their faces calm, hands raised in greeting. But they also displayed the warship, its systems, and its weapons. Clear, undeniable proof that these beings could destroy the aliens if they chose. The council gasped. Fear and awe battled within them. Some members called for surrender. Others insisted on fighting. And some, quieter, wondered if there was a third option, understanding. Kyle stared at the screen. The humans were showing themselves, not attacking, not threatening beyond their mere presence. Yet the warship alone spoke louder than any words could. It said, "We are here, and we are ready." Outside, the citizens watched the sky. The Terran warship hung like a dark star, massive and silent. Their world had changed in a single instant. Something ancient inside them whispered that nothing would ever be the same again. As night fell over Xylar, the warship did not move. Yet everyone knew this was only the beginning. Something had arrived from the stars. Something powerful, something human. And the aliens, for the first time in their history, truly feared what was coming. The sky above Xylar was still. Too still. The Terran warship hung silently, massive and dark, its presence pressing down on every citizen and every soldier. In the capital, the High Council chambers were alive with panic and confusion. Commander Rilak paced the room, his many eyes darting to each member of the council. "We cannot wait any longer," he said. "We need a decision, attack, defend, or attempt contact." The council erupted into debate. Voices clashed like weapons. "They have the power to destroy us in moments," shouted one leader. "We strike first or we die." "No," countered another. "They do not attack." "We must not provoke them. We must send a diplomatic team." Rilak slammed his clawed hand onto the table. "Diplomacy? Look at them! Their technology. It is beyond anything we have ever faced. We do not know what they want, and we cannot assume they are friendly." Meanwhile, in the alien hangars, fleets scrambled. Squadrons of sleek, sharp-edged alien fighters launched into the upper atmosphere. Engines roared, leaving trails of shimmering energy. Pilots gripped their controls tightly, hearts pounding. Among them was Kyle, the young scientist who had witnessed the Terran ship's first arrival. He sat in the command seat of a reconnaissance ship, trembling but determined. He had volunteered to gather data on the mysterious warship, to understand it before it destroyed them all. The Terran ship remained motionless, almost serene. Then, without warning, small drones emerged, moving around the alien fleet with fluid precision. They darted in and out of formations, scanning, probing, and observing. Kyle's eyes widened. "They know our positions. Before we move," he swallowed hard. How is this possible?" From the observation tower in the capital, council members watched in horror. One of their fastest ships was instantly disabled, its systems fried by an invisible force. The pilots struggled in vain as alarms screamed. The fleet faltered. Panic spread like wildfire. Rilak's voice shook, but he forced himself to remain steady. "Hold your positions. Do not fire unless fired upon." But fear was a stronger force. Some pilots panicked, breaking formation and shooting blindly into the void. The Terran warship did not retaliate. It did not need to. Its very presence and the quiet efficiency of its drones were enough to paralyze the alien fleet. In the council chambers, one elder spoke quietly, almost to herself. "They are testing us. Not attacking, just testing." Rilak's jaw tightened. "Then we must be careful. Every move we make is watched." As the hours passed, the Terran warship shifted slightly, a deliberate movement. Its hum resonated through the atmosphere, a vibration that unsettled every living thing on Xylar. Citizens felt it in their bones. Soldiers gripped their controls tighter. The fleet moved cautiously, their fear growing with every moment. Kale focused on the readings from his sensors. Every scan of the warship failed. Energy signatures changed unpredictably. Shields fluctuated in ways he could not understand. Weapons, if they existed, were hidden behind layers of technology beyond his comprehension. Suddenly, the warship emitted a sharp pulse. It was not an attack, but a message, a warning. Systems across the alien fleet flickered. Some ships' engines cut out temporarily. Others reported strange anomalies. One pilot whispered into the comms, voice shaking, It's like it knows what we're thinking." Relak turned sharply. "It does not react like a normal enemy," he said. "It is aware." Council debates raged on, but the truth was clear. The aliens were outmatched. Every tactical advantage they had was useless. Their sensors, their weapons, their fastest ships, none could match the warship's precision and intelligence. Kyle, sitting alone in his small reconnaissance ship, looked up at the massive hull above him. "Are they human?" he asked quietly, not expecting an answer. The thought alone made his heart race. If this was humanity, then the legends were true. Humans were far more advanced than any species imagined. Outside, the Terran warship remained silent, almost patient. It had made its presence known, tested the fleet and observed reactions. Its purpose was not immediately clear. Yet every alien, soldier, pilot and citizen alike, felt the same truth. Their world had changed. In one single moment, everything they had known about the galaxy was shattered. Hours turned into tense waiting. The alien fleet hovered, unsure whether to retreat, attack, or continue observing. The Terran warship slowly descended, lowering itself toward the planet's upper atmosphere. Its massive shadow fell over the cities, blocking light and casting a chill. Kale's console beeped urgently. "Commander, the warship. It's moving closer to the planet's surface." "This is unprecedented." Rylak's eyes narrowed. "We cannot allow it to land, or even get too close." "Prepare defensive positions." The Council quickly issued commands. Planetary defense systems activated, energy shields rose, and anti-spacecraft batteries locked onto the massive vessel above. Citizens were evacuated from exposed areas. Panic mixed with awe as the Terran warship remained almost motionless, seemingly unafraid of the alien defenses. Then, as if reading the aliens' fear, the warship emitted another pulse. This time, the energy washed over the capital city, harmless but unmistakably powerful. Structures trembled, citizens screamed, and the Council realized this was a warning. Not a threat yet, but a clear demonstration of strength. Relak clenched his fists. "They are not attacking, but they could. And we would not survive." Kael, feeling a mixture of terror and fascination, whispered again. "They are testing us." Seeing what we will do, the aliens faced a choice. Attack and risk annihilation, retreat and lose face, or attempt communication with beings far beyond their understanding. For the first time, every plan, every strategy, every confidence they had built over centuries seemed meaningless. Outside, the Terran warship remained silent. Its lights blinked slowly, almost patiently, as if it were waiting for something, waiting for the aliens to decide. And in that tense pause, every living being on Xylar understood one terrifying truth. The humans had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again. The alien fleet hovered tens of kilometers above Xylar, trembling in fear and awe. Every pilot and commander knew the Terran warship could obliterate them in moments. Yet it did nothing aggressive. It simply hung there, enormous and silent, like a shadow from the stars. Inside the alien capital, the High Council was in chaos. Commander Relak's multiple eyes scanned the holographic displays. "We cannot attack," he said. "We are outmatched. Every plan we have is useless, and yet it hasn't fired a single shot." The Council debated furiously, voices rising, claws slamming on tables. Some argued for surrender. Others demanded diplomacy. The younger council members whispered about humans. Strange, legendary beings, said to be both clever and unstoppable. Now they had arrived in full force, and then it happened. From the side of the warship, a small shuttle detached. It moved slowly, deliberately toward the alien fleet. Unlike the massive warship, it was small, almost fragile-looking, but it carried the weight of something far greater, humanity itself. Pilots of the alien fleet tensed, weapons locked. The shuttle's lights pulsed with a calm rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. It emitted no aggressive energy, no shields flaring, no weapons charging. Yet the aliens sensed the danger before they saw it. Inside the shuttle, humans moved with quiet purpose. Their uniforms were simple, functional, but their posture spoke of confidence. Each movement was precise, each glance deliberate. Not a single human seemed afraid of the alien fleet hovering above their planet. Kyle, the young alien scientist, stared at the shuttle on his screen, mouth slightly open. They are calm, completely calm, he whispered to himself. The shuttle landed in the upper atmosphere near the largest alien ship, its engines humming quietly. A door opened. A figure stepped out. Small, almost fragile compared to the Terran warship above, but something about him commanded attention. Commander Rilak stepped forward from his observation deck, voice low but firm. "Identify yourself." The human raised his hand in a simple gesture, a universal sign of peace. "We are humans," he said, voice calm, clear, and perfectly translated into the alien language through their communication system. "We come in peace. We mean no harm." A ripple ran through the council. Peace? After witnessing their fleet being outmatched without effort? It seemed impossible. Rilak's claws twitched. "You expect us to believe you? After showing such power?" The human nodded slowly. "We understand your fear. That is why we are here, not to fight, but to observe, to understand, and if possible, to help." Kyle's heart raced. He could not explain the feelings stirring inside him. Or fear, curiosity, and something else. Something he had only read about in ancient texts about humanity. Respect. Humans commanded respect, not by threat alone, but by presence. The Terran shuttle emitted a soft glow, scanning the alien ships without touching them. The aliens watched in mixed fascination and terror. Every movement was controlled, deliberate, precise, proof that these humans were not only capable of great destruction, but of discipline and intelligence far beyond their own. One of the older council members whispered, voice trembling, They are showing themselves, yet they threaten nothing." The human raised a small device. Holographic images of the Terran warship appeared, clearly detailing its systems, weapons, and power. "We do not hide our strength," the human said. "We could destroy your fleet if we wished, but we do not wish to. We offer you knowledge, not destruction." Rilak's multiple eyes narrowed. "Knowledge? You expect us to trust you? After what we've seen?" Another human stepped forward from the shuttle, holding a small artifact that emitted light in shifting patterns. The device projected images of other alien civilizations, some peaceful, some hostile, and how humans had approached each. "We do not seek war," she said, "but we do not flee from it either. We believe in reason, not chaos. And we believe your world deserves a choice." The council fell silent. Even the fleet pilots, their hands still on weapons, could feel the tension shifting. The humans did not demand anything. They did not threaten. They simply showed strength, calm, and understanding. Kale whispered to himself, barely audible. "They are perfect. Not perfect in appearance, but perfect in command, in presence, in everything." Rilak finally spoke, voice steady but cautious. "If what you say is true, if you truly seek peace, then you must prove it. Actions speak louder than words." The humans nodded. One of them gestured to a distant asteroid belt where rogue alien mercenaries had hidden. "We will demonstrate our intent," he said, "but you will see that our presence here is not a threat. It is a choice." Outside, the alien fleet watched, unsure whether to feel relief or fear. The humans had revealed themselves, but the warship above still hung in the sky, a reminder of the incredible power they commanded. For the first time, Xylar realized, these humans were not ordinary. They were a species unlike any other. And whether the aliens accepted it or not, humanity had arrived. The High Council chambers of Xylar were tense beyond measure. The Terran shuttle still hovered near the alien fleet, a calm reminder of humanity's overwhelming power. Outside, the massive warship loomed silently above the planet, casting a shadow that darkened entire cities. Inside, the Council argued violently. Their voices echoed off the crystalline walls. "We cannot allow them to remain here," shouted one elder, claws slamming the table. "We should attack while we still can." "Attack? Do you not see what they are capable of?" Another elder hissed, eyes wide. "One of their ships could destroy half our fleet in seconds." Commander Rilak, standing at the center of the room, tried to keep control. "We must remain calm," he said. "We are outmatched. Every move we make is observed. Every decision could be fatal." Some council members shook with fear, their multifaceted eyes reflecting the looming shadow of the Terran warship. Others whispered about surrender, about yielding to the humans before more lives were lost. Kyle, the young scientist, observed silently. He had never seen such panic among the leaders before. His own heart pounded. The humans had not yet attacked, and yet the council acted as if they were already under siege. The debate became louder, harsher. One elder, pale with fear, suggested sending an envoy to the humans. Perhaps they seek peace," he stammered. "We should try to understand them before it is too late," another elder sneered. "Peace, that is foolish. They are stronger than anything we have ever known. Do you think they will accept us as equals? They could crush our civilization in a day." Rilak rubbed his face, struggling to contain his anger and fear. "Enough," he snapped. "We must think strategically, not emotionally. Our first priority is survival." Even as the council debated, Kale's senses picked up something troubling. A faction within the alien fleet, rogue ships loyal to an extremist group, was moving secretly toward the Terran shuttle. They had not reported their movements. They intended to attack. Kyle's claws trembled as he alerted Rilak. "Commander, there is a rogue faction. They are preparing to strike the shuttle." Rilak's eyes widened. "Impossible. We cannot risk that. Send a warning now." But the rogue faction ignored protocol. They were driven by fear, by hatred, by the need to prove themselves. Their engines flared as they advanced toward the Terran shuttle. The council gasped as the humans reacted before anyone could intervene. Small energy fields appeared around the rogue ships. Without firing a single shot, the humans disabled them instantly. Engines stalled, weapons jammed, systems shut down. The rogue ships floated helplessly in space, completely under human control. A silence fell over the council. Even the most aggressive elders could only stare in shock. They can stop our ships without attacking?" One whispered, trembling. "How is this possible?" Kyle shook his head. "They are beyond anything we understand. Not just weapons, intelligence, strategy. They can control the battlefield without a single strike." The council realized the horrifying truth. Humanity's power was not only technological, it was tactical. They had arrived not to fight yet, but to demonstrate that they could if they chose. Fear turned to paranoia. Whispers of betrayal filled the chambers. "What if they are here to conquer us?" one elder asked. "What if their patience is only a test before war?" Another elder replied, voice cold and sharp. "Then we must strike first. Otherwise, we will be nothing." Rilak clenched his fists. "Strike first, and we are extinct. Remain passive, and we may survive. But this indecision is dangerous." Kyle spoke up, voice shaking but firm. "Commander, we cannot predict what they will do next. But I know this, they are not attacking yet. They observe, they wait. We must wait too. But carefully. Outside, the Terran shuttle hovered, calm and deliberate. The humans inside watched the alien fleet, recording, analyzing, waiting for signals. Every move they made was precise, measured, confident. The aliens could feel their eyes, even without seeing them. In the council chambers, one elder broke down. "We are not ready for this. Our fleets, our weapons, our technology. Nothing can match them. We are children before giants." Rilak's voice was steady but quiet. "Then we must act wisely, not with fear. We must survive long enough to understand what humanity wants. But fear is a powerful force. The Council knew that even one wrong decision could mean annihilation. And as they debated, Kale's sensors detected a subtle movement from the Terran warship above. A slight tilt, almost as if it were scanning the planet, almost as if it were testing their cities, their defenses, their courage. The Council froze. Every alien present understood silently that humanity's calm presence was more terrifying than any attack could be. Their decision, their next move, could seal the fate of their civilization. Kel whispered to himself, voice trembling. They are watching everything, waiting, judging. Rilak looked out at the shadow of the warship covering the city. We are not ready for them, he admitted. And yet, we have no choice but to face them. The chamber fell into tense silence. The humans had revealed themselves. They had shown their power, and the aliens now faced a chilling truth. In this galaxy, humanity was the force to reckon with. Outside, the warship remained still, massive and silent, yet more dangerous than any weapon ever known. And inside the council chambers, fear settled like a heavy stone, pressing down on every mind. The calm above Xylar shattered like glass. Rogue alien ships, those extremists who refused to listen to the Council, launched a sudden attack on the Terran shuttle. Engines flared, weapons fired, and beams of energy streaked through the upper atmosphere. Commander Rilek's eyes widened. "No, stop them!" he shouted. But it was too late. The Terran shuttle did not panic. It glided gracefully, as if moving through calm waters, not a battlefield. Its systems activated with quiet precision. From its hull, small energy drones swarmed faster than any alien fighter could react. They intercepted the attack mid-flight, disarming the rogue ships without a single destructive strike. Engines stalled, weapons disabled, systems jammed. Kahil, watching from his reconnaissance ship, could barely breathe. They stopped them, without destroying anything, he whispered. How is that even possible? The rogue pilots struggled, confusion and fear etched on their faces. They had trained for battle their entire lives, yet a few human-controlled drones rendered their attacks useless. The Council watched in stunned silence. "Impossible," muttered one elder. "We are stronger." Yet they control the fight with such ease. The Terran shuttle hovered above the immobilized rogue ships. A calm, clear voice came through universal translation. "You must follow your leadership," it said. "Chaos harms all. Obedience preserves life," the Council gasped. Not only had the humans neutralized the attack, but they had communicated with the aliens directly, teaching discipline in the middle of battle without firing a single shot. Meanwhile, the Terran warship above adjusted its position. It rotated slowly, scanning the rest of the alien fleet. Even the best pilots froze in fear. They realized the shuttle was only the beginning. The warship could act with devastating precision, but it had not. Kale's fingers flew over his console. "Commander!" Their sensors. "They see everything. Our ships, our formations. Every move we make is tracked." Rilak's voice was grim. "Yes. They control the battlefield without attacking directly. That is terrifying." The rogue faction was not the only group shaken. Across the fleet, fear spread. Even the most loyal ships hesitated. Every alien pilot knew their weapons were ineffective against the humans. Every strategy, every tactic, every defensive maneuver suddenly seemed meaningless. Outside, the citizens of Xylar watched the skies. They saw their own ships disabled, their warriors helpless, and the humans calm, almost serene. Panic mixed with awe. Stories of humanity's power, once myths, were now reality. The humans were not cruel. They were not arrogant. Yet their mere presence commanded respect and fear. Their technology and strategy were beyond comprehension. The aliens felt it in their bones. Resistance was pointless. Inside the council chambers, whispers of surrender began to rise. Some members suggested immediate peace talks. Others argued that they must flee, abandon Xylar, or hide from humanity's might. Rilek clenched his fists, trying to hold the council together. "We are not defeated yet," he said firmly. "But we cannot act rashly. Humanity, they are teaching us a lesson. We must learn it carefully." Kale continued to monitor the battle. Even as the rogue ships remained frozen in space, their pilots panting in fear, he saw the truth. Humans were not only powerful, they were intelligent, calculating, and strategic. Their actions preserved life even as they displayed overwhelming strength. Suddenly, the Terran shuttle raised a small beacon. A holographic projection appeared above the rogue ships. Images of human fleets, human colonies, and human civilizations flashed rapidly. The message was clear: we are everywhere. We are patient. We are powerful. And we seek peace if you choose it. The council was silent. Even Relak could not speak. The words carried weight beyond their meaning. Humans had struck first, not with weapons, but with strategy, discipline, and clarity of purpose. They had shown both power and restraint, leaving no doubt humanity was a force unlike any the aliens had ever faced. Kyle whispered, voice trembling, They could destroy us all. But they haven't. They are merciful. Relak finally spoke, voice low and serious. Merciful or patient? That is the question. The alien fleet remained in stasis, unsure whether to advance, retreat, or surrender. The rogue ships were helpless, yet no human had fired a single lethal shot. The lesson had been delivered. Humanity had revealed its strength, intelligence, and calm authority. Above them all, the Terran warship rotated slowly. It was massive, silent, and powerful beyond measure. Its presence was a promise. Humans could destroy, but they chose not to. The alien fleet remained frozen in the upper atmosphere above Xylar, still reeling from the humans' first strike. Even the most loyal pilots could not hide their fear, and whispers of surrender had begun to spread through the High Council chambers. Commander Relak paced the council room, his mind racing. Humanity's calm, precise power had stunned everyone. Yet even after witnessing their skill, he felt there was more. Something hidden within the Terran warship. Something the aliens could not yet see. Kale, sitting at his console, stared at the warship on his sensors. Commander, there's more. Their systems. They're different. Complex beyond anything we know. Energy flows in patterns that defy physics as we understand it. Relak frowned. Explain. Kale's claws moved quickly over his controls. It's like the warship itself is alive. Not alive in the biological sense, but aware, reactive, intelligent. Every movement of our ships, every fleet formation, every attempt to scan, it responds immediately. It anticipates us. A silence fell over the council as they absorbed the words. Relak's eyes narrowed. You mean it can think? Kyle hesitated. Not just think, it predicts. It adapts and it controls the battlefield without firing a single shot. Outside, the Terran warship rotated slowly, its massive hull glinting faintly against Xylar's violet clouds. Drones emerged, scanning the alien ships again, not with weapons, but with precise movements that suggested calculation, analysis, and understanding. Relak clenched his fists. We need to know more. If we are to survive, we must understand the warship. Its secrets, and the humans who command it. Kale's console beeped urgently. He gasped. Commander, they're opening a section of the warship. Something small, a shuttle or a module, descending toward the planet. It's revealing something. The council leaned forward, eyes wide. The module descended slowly, revealing a hatch that opened mid-air. A beam of light scanned the planet's surface, illuminating areas that had never been mapped so precisely before. Kyle's fingers trembled as he analyzed the data. It's cataloging everything. Cities, fleets, energy sources, every detail of our civilization. And it's not just observing. It's learning, adapting. Relak's voice was low and tense. This is terrifying. They are not attacking yet, but this knowledge... They could destroy us if they chose. Every weakness, every strength, in their control, one council elder whispered, voice trembling. Do they do this to every civilization they encounter? Kyle shook his head. We don't know. But the warship itself, it is not ordinary. It is more than a weapon, more than a ship. It's a command hub, a research station, a fortress. And humans command it with ease. From the module above, the humans projected holographic images of the Terran warship's inner systems, revealing a glimpse of technology that was almost incomprehensible. Alien engineers stared in disbelief. Energy flowed in impossible loops, shields reconfigured instantly, and weapons aligned automatically with unparalleled precision. Rylak's claws twitched. They are showing us
part of their power,
yet holding back the rest. Why? What do they want? Kale looked at the holographic displays, awe and fear mixing in his voice. They could destroy our fleet in minutes, yet they choose to reveal knowledge instead of destruction. They are testing us, teaching us, or warning us. Outside, the Terran shuttle landed carefully near the capital. Humans emerged, holding devices that projected additional holograms. Images of planets, star systems, and alien civilizations filled the sky. The aliens realized humanity's reach was far greater than they had imagined. One elder, trembling, whispered, "They are not just a species. They are a force. A civilization that moves like a storm, controlled, precise, unstoppable." Rylak nodded slowly. "And we have barely seen it. We are only at the surface of their power, their strategy, their intelligence." Kale's sensors picked up subtle movements within the Terran warship. Sections shifted, shields adjusted, weapons aligned, all without human intervention. "Commander, it's almost as if the ship itself is alive. They command it, yes, but it can act on its own, anticipate threats, protect its humans, protect itself." The council was silent. Fear had deepened into awe. The humans were not just powerful, they were intelligent, adaptive, and merciful. They could destroy the alien fleet in moments, yet they chose to observe, to teach, to reveal only what they wanted. Rylak's eyes narrowed, his voice low and tense. "We must survive this encounter. We must learn from them, and we must respect their power, or we will be destroyed." Kyle looked up from his console, voice shaking. "Commander, I think they are showing us the future. A future where humans dominate the stars, and we are only beginning to understand it." Outside, the Terran warship remained a silent guardian over Xylar, its presence both terrifying and awe-inspiring. The aliens had glimpsed part of its secrets, but not all. And in that knowledge, fear and respect grew together, tightening like a coil around their hearts. Xylar had not seen a night like this in centuries. The Terran warship hung above the planet, enormous, silent, and calm, while the alien fleet hovered in uneasy formation below. The citizens watched from their homes, afraid to breathe, aware that something unprecedented had arrived from the stars. Inside the High Council chambers, Commander Rylak and Kale observed the Terran shuttle, which had now returned to the warship. The humans were calm, precise, and deliberate, traits that made the aliens' fear deepen. Then a sudden alert flashed across Kale's console. He froze. "Commander, something else is approaching, far beyond our senses. A fleet, massive, hostile, and it's faster than anything we've encountered." Rylak's many eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Xylar is far from known war zones. We would have detected them sooner." Kyle shook his head. "No, they're hiding, using technology we've never seen. They're here, and they're coming for us." Panic erupted among the council. Whispers of invasion, total annihilation, and extinction spread like wildfire. The alien fleet prepared to retreat, but Rylak held them in check. "We cannot flee blindly," he said firmly. "We do not know their numbers, their strength, or their intent. But we cannot face them alone." Kale's console flickered. "Commander, the humans know. Their sensors are already tracking this fleet. They detected them before we did, and they are preparing a response." Outside, the Terran warship shifted slightly. Drones swarmed around it, scanning the distant fleet with precision. It was not aggressive yet, but the aliens could feel the power behind the motion. The humans were preparing for war, but not recklessly. Rylak turned to the council. "We have a choice. Face this threat alone, or trust the humans. Their power is greater than ours, but will they help? Will they protect us?" The council fell silent. The idea of surrendering to humans, relying on their guidance and protection, was difficult to accept. Pride, fear, and desperation warred within them. Kale spoke quietly, voice trembling. "Commander, if we do not cooperate, Xylar will be destroyed. Their fleet, this new threat. We cannot survive without humans." Relak nodded slowly. "Then we must form an alliance. A fragile one, but necessary. Humanity's presence may be our only chance." The distant fleet moved closer. Their shapes were jagged, alien, almost insect-like, with weapons that pulsed with deadly energy. The aliens could see their intent: destruction. They had come for war. The humans acted quickly. Shuttles detached from the warship, deploying small defense platforms in strategic positions around Xylar. Drones zipped through the atmosphere, analyzing the hostile fleet, mapping their weaknesses, and preparing attack vectors. Relak watched, awe and fear battling in his chest. Humanity's speed, precision, and calm authority were breathtaking. The aliens had never seen such coordination, such intelligence in action. Kyle pointed to the displays. "Commander, they're giving us positions, strategies, almost as if they are teaching us how to fight this fleet. But carefully, not telling everything, just enough to survive." The Council realized the gravity of the situation. Humanity's intervention was both a warning and a lesson. They could annihilate the hostile fleet alone, but they were allowing the aliens to participate, to learn. The hostile ships fired first. Beams of deadly energy streaked towards Xylar's orbit. The Terran Warship responded instantly. Massive shields flared, energy pulses scattered the attacks, and the hostile ship's formation was disrupted without a single strike from human weapons. The aliens gasped. Even the most advanced of their fighters struggled to react to the humans' precision. Their technology, strategy, and calm control of the battlefield were unlike anything they had ever faced. Kyle whispered, awe in his voice. "They are unstoppable, but merciful. They protect us, yet they are ready to destroy if needed." Relak's eyes narrowed. "This is our chance. Humanity offers a choice: learn, survive, or perish. The decision is ours, but the threat is real." The distant hostile fleet pressed closer. The humans prepared for the first major engagement, a battle that would determine the fate of Xylar and the surrounding systems. For the aliens, the future was uncertain. For humanity, it was another test of strategy, discipline, and mercy. Above all, one truth remained clear. The hidden threat was real, deadly, and coming fast. But humanity's presence had turned despair into hope, and fear into cautious awe. The stars were about to shake. The distant fleet had arrived. Jagged, insect-like ships filled Xylar's upper atmosphere, bristling with deadly energy. The alien fleet shuddered, their weapons trembling in fear. Panic rippled across the High Council chambers. Xylar's fate seemed sealed, but above it all, the Terran Warship hovered like a dark sentinel, calm, silent, immense. And behind its massive hull, humanity prepared to act. Commander Relak turned to the Council. "This is it. The hidden threat. It is real. But the humans are ready. We follow their lead, or we die." Kyle's fingers flew over his console. "Commander, they're deploying drones everywhere. Defensive, offensive, and reconnaissance. Every hostile ship, every weak point. They know it already. Outside, thousands of Terran drones swarmed through space, moving faster than the eye could follow. Each one acted with perfect coordination, anticipating the enemy fleet's maneuvers before they happened. Every attack vector was neutralized. Every defense was flawlessly executed. The alien pilots watched in awe and fear. Ships that had seemed powerful moments ago were now irrelevant. Their weapons misfired, their formations disrupted. They realized that humanity was not just powerful. It was a force that could control the battlefield without firing a single shot. Suddenly, the Terran warship shifted. Massive energy beams flared, cutting through the enemy fleet. But even as destruction rained down, it was surgical, precise, targeted, minimal civilian and environmental impact. Humans destroyed only what was necessary to stop the threat. The hidden fleet faltered. They had never faced such a strategy. Ships exploded or were disabled before they could react. Panic spread among their ranks. Their confidence shattered under the calm efficiency of humanity. Kyle gasped. Commander, they are coordinating our fleet, showing us where to strike, how to defend, teaching us even during battle. Rilak nodded grimly. This is beyond anything I imagined. Humanity fights, yet they lead. They protect, yet they strike. They are perfect. The humans deployed their shuttles strategically, guiding alien ships into positions where enemy fire would be neutralized. Alien pilots, initially fearful, began to follow instructions. They moved in unison with Terran drones, forming a unified front against the invading fleet. Citizens watched from below, awe and fear mingling. The humans had turned the tide before the battle had fully begun. Xylar, once on the brink of annihilation, now had hope. The enemy fleet, sensing their collapse, regrouped for a desperate counterattack. Massive energy blasts streaked toward the planet, threatening destruction. The Terran warship responded instantly. Energy shields flared, beams intercepted attacks mid-flight, and every hostile ship was disrupted before it could strike. Rilak whispered, voice barely audible. They are unstoppable. And merciful, Kyle added, trembling. They could destroy everything, but they choose not to. They protect life, even while wielding unmatched power. As the battle reached its climax, the humans coordinated the alien fleet to strike critical points in the enemy formation. One by one, enemy ships were disabled, then neutralized. The invaders, realizing defeat was inevitable, attempted retreat, but the Terran warship blocked their path, guiding them into a formation where surrender became the only option. The battlefield fell silent. Smoke and energy trails drifted through space. The hidden threat had been defeated, not through raw aggression alone, but through superior strategy, intelligence, and humanity's disciplined restraint. Rilak turned to Kale, awe in his multiple eyes. Xylar owes its survival to them, not just their power. Their wisdom, their discipline, their humanity, Kyle nodded, voice shaking. We have seen the stars tremble under their power, and yet they fought with honor. We were taught, guided, and spared. From the warship, the humans projected a calm, holographic image over the planet. The galaxy is vast. Threats will come. You are not ready to face all of them alone. We offer guidance, protection, and alliance. Learn, adapt, survive. Humanity will stand with you. If you choose cooperation, not chaos, the council fell silent. Fear had been replaced by respect. Hope flickered in hearts that had nearly given in to despair. Rilak's voice carried across the chambers, steady and resolute. We have survived because of humans, and from this day forward, our future will be different. The stars have shifted, humanity has arrived, and the galaxy will never be the same. Kale looked at the Terran warship one last time before it slowly ascended into orbit. The enormous vessel glowed faintly against the starlit sky, a symbol of power, discipline, and mercy. Humanity had not only saved Xylar, they had shown that they were a force beyond comprehension, ready to reshape the galaxy. The citizens below cheered cautiously, aware that their lives had been spared by beings far beyond their understanding. Even the alien fleet, battle-worn and trembling, saluted the humans' presence. The stars themselves seemed to shake in response. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy had witnessed the arrival of a new, unstoppable power, humanity.